All right, fellas. I think this is a very simple one. I'm happy, to start the sub package with a very easy blitz to get set up. It's called Nickel Slug. Okay, it's part of the Creeper family, and what we're going to do is use in the game a very popular blitz. It's very easy to get set up. Okay, so we're going to start. The nickel is coming off the edge to the strong side. All right, so that's how it starts. We know that the nickel always goes to the passing strength. And what we're going to end up doing is really, it's a pretty simple rule here where we are in our blitz zone cover three. So it's no different than playing three seam coverage. Okay. And what we're going to end up doing is getting to and I take that back. I won't use the word blitz zone. Just use three seam because we are actually only sending four guys. And in the game, the linebacker to the strong side to the nickel will be blitzing. All you have to do is take him and put him into a hook curl. Okay. So that's what it talks about here with what's going on. All right. So let's take a look at the photos. It'll be pretty self explanatory there. All right. So let's look at the first one, 2-by-2 formation. All right. We're going to start in the two high shell. We're just going to bring the nickel off the edge. Okay. And everybody else is going to slant inside. And our edge player on the opposite side away from the nickel is going to drop into coverage. Okay. So in the game, the blitz that we're going to use, like Buck Slant 3, this player usually is blitzing as well. So what we're going to do is just put him into a strong hook. All right. Now, versus 3-by-1, we'll talk about it on the field some more. It's going to be the same thing. We're going to have now our safety obviously be rotating down to this side because that's where the pressure is. He's still a seam flat player, but this will be the extra player right here that we're going to put into a hook curl. If you want to use that, that's fine. All right. We'll talk a little bit more about the nickel and should he blitz if number three is detached, where you save that for the field. The one thing, and I'll talk about it on the field, is, and I actually mentioned it in the video that I posted recently on YouTube. It was a play where it was 2-by-2. Okay. And let me see if this is a good example here. Let me use, I don't know what's going on. Let me use this one again. The dime in this play, okay, when you call the pressure, the base package pressure, he's actually a three receiver hook player. So he reads number three, which is usually in the backfield, and he'll sit there and he won't necessarily drop. But because we're just using a creeper blitz, which is a simulated pressure, we're sending four, we're still dropping seven in the coverage. We're going to take this player and put him into a hook curl anytime it's 2-by-2. All right. When it turns to 3-by-1, like this, we're going to let him do his three receiver hook drop, right? Because there's really all the receivers are pushed to the right side of the field on this picture. So I'll talk about that. That's just an extra adjustment. It's not needed, but it does help the defense versus 2-by-2. All right. Let me see if there's anything we can run this pretty much versus any coverage. Um, I don't see any real issues that are popping off the screen right now. The only thing that I can see is if you get empty. I think the game probably won't do this, but your weak side linebacker will walk out to the two receiver side. And then if you want to switch the assignment where instead of having the end be the seam flat player and the dime be the three receiver hook player or hook curl, you can quickly just kind of make the end and put him in a vertical hook. All right, the edge player. So he doesn't have to go cover number two and let that weak side linebacker or the dime walk out and play over number two weak. That's the only formation I can see being a huge issue. But then we also will talk about on the field, potentially, like I said, we're going to maybe have the Mike blitz and let the nickel play the hook. Okay, so I'll show you that in the field. It'll make more sense. I'll see you on the Madden field. Let's take a look at the nickel slug. I'm going to use Buck Slant 3, nickel 2-4. I'm going to jump on the field. Let's just go against something simple. This is one of the more simple blitzes. Versus 2-by-2, you only have to make two adjustments. The first one is always the one that's in every single one. Just take the Mike linebacker or the linebacker to the side of the blitz, put them into a hook curl. Okay. And then versus 2-by-2, okay. I prefer to take the weak side linebacker and also put him into a hook curl. Okay. Just makes it balanced. It's no different than playing cover three seam. You don't need a three receiver hook player on this one. Okay. And you can use it whoever you want. If you want to bring the nickel up, So press position, that's up to you. So right now we're going against one of the better left tackles in the game, so this is going to be picked up most of the time. But again, we're in the creeper family. We're bringing four, okay, from a nice two high shell. Now let's go against 3-by-1 formation. Buck slant three. Let's just go against the let's go against this right here. 3-by-1 nub. Okay. Nickel's coming from pretty far, so I'm not a huge fan of that. So one thing that I've always learned is that you can always check a blitz down or move it down to the next person. Okay. So if that's the case, take your nickel, okay? And now you're gonna have to put him into a vertical hook. All right. And then that's it. You're gonna let this thing rock out. Now versus 3-by-1, the backside dime, he needs to be a three receiver hook player. Okay. So you're gonna have to get over to number three. You might have to cheat a little bit to get over there, but that's pretty much where we're gonna play with. All right. Maybe not the best versus a really wide spread set like this. Okay. One thing I don't like necessarily, this is fine. This is really the same blitz. It's coming from a tighter angle. And the vertical hook player does a good job of kind of getting back into the hook. All right. Number two is to go vertical. That's the only thing that could be a little bit of a complaining part that you have to worry about. Let's take a look at it real quick. If we went to just letting it go the natural way. Now, hook curl here may not be the best answer. Curl flat again might be the best answer. Kind of similar to the nickel whip situation. Just to get that guy a little bit wider might be better. I just tried that out for the first time. Let's put him into a hook curl. This safety, this corner's coming from so far, but you hope that maybe that pressure gets in. I think maybe this is the time that you might want to press your corner in nickel. I mean, all right. So you can individually do that if you want. Individually press that guy and just see how the safety moves over. That's not a tell. That's a bad thing. But anyway, so let's just keep it on a hook curl. See how wide that number three gets. Not bad, right? Who came in on this one? The end got inside. So that's what we got, man. All right. Let's go versus just a normal 3-by-1 that's not so wide so we can have the nickel come off the edge. Let's go with the buck slant three versus something normal. To me, even trade opens kind of wide, so we don't want to mess with that right now. We don't have anything in this playbook. That's okay. So let's just work with this. Again, he's coming from really far, but we can kind of let it go. And you can also be that hook curl player. All right. Three receiver hook players should kick over and should try to get over to the right a little bit more than usual. We can kind of maybe take care of that ourselves. Okay. Now let's see what else we have if we have this in any other formation, because this is a pretty simple blitz to get set up. And most formations have this. You're just taking America's blitz and just making it work. Let's see how if we have it over here. If I put it into this formation, I think I had this mostly coverage. Oh, I do have it. Buck slant three at a dime 2-3-6. This might give us better personnel. Okay, we still have. I'm pretty sure these are. Yeah, this is the DB on the backside, so he's going to be okay. He's going to be running over, but it's really the same thing, guys. All right. I think I like this look and me using this. Let's see how this plays out. I know the route, so because I can use it at safety, and he's going to be a lot more athletic to make a play. All right. Let's take a look at this replay. The pressure is probably not as good, but I do like the edge player kind of working his way in here and doing that. That's pretty good. Now, your defensive tackles or your defensive ends need to be athletic. Um, these guys are going to make lots of plays for you, so always go after guys that can move and can actually be good pass rushers over big body like pluggers. You want athletes, okay? Now your edge guys, these are your best pass rushers. But I'll be honest with you, if you're playing in a system that I'm going to actually attempt, just for fun a little bit here, where let's say your edge guys are beefy enough and strong enough, right, to play inside here. Oh, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? They could be your defensive ends and they can work into those situations like this, where now you're going to have extra pass rushers and you're going to have lower resistance bars. I'll make a video about that. That's a whole other story. But anyway, this hook player here, I think it's pretty good how he gets up there like that. I like that. Kind of gets into this window. Maybe it needs to be a little bit more aggressive. Let me see if I can get a four vertical play out of this. Let me see what happens when I do that. A hook player versus a four vertical. Kind of labbing right now. Hope you guys don't mind. All right, so let's go with the nickel, and he's going to be the vertical hook, right? And we're just going to play ball. We don't have to make any other changes. All right, let's see what happens here. Does he run with two? Oh, I don't think I have match on. Okay, my fault. My fault. Let's go do that real quick. All right, dime, four verts, vertical hook. Okay, all right, let's see how it works out. Yeah, I love it. I'm in love with that. Look at that. I go get number three, and this nickel runs with two vertical. So it's almost like again playing a Mabel coverage, right? Because I'm working over to number three. That's wonderful and everything. And then now this safety is actually going to still get out to the flat because it's kind of a really weird coverage. It's not the way they probably draw it up. It's definitely not the way they would draw this up. But we're getting this nice man coverage plus some interesting heat here. This guy came. I mean, this is going to be really good for us. I love it. All right. We're going to check the blitz down there. I don't know if they have that in their system, but we're going to do that. All right. I'll see you in the next play.